charge. Let's go again. And clear.
No response.
Let's recharge and do it one more time. And clear.
Stupid Cade. Used to be so cool. Now you're nothing. Now you're just a filthy meme.
Guardian down.
Jesus. Well, I feel bad for this poor toy.
I feel bad for Cade at this point, actually.
There was once upon a time, guys, that we did feel like, you know, we had to rise up against Bungie and Destiny and make sure that we were, you know, getting the best out of that company and those developers. But now it feels different. You know, I'm looking on the internet, I'm seeing how people are barely talking about it. You know, updates are being dropped and people are like, Destiny 2, what?
Feels like Bungie is that bully at school that eventually gets, like, beaten up by the nerd. Like, Warframe's the nerd here, by the way. After that, no one respects the bully anymore. I do sort of feel a little bit sorry for Destiny 2.
I mean, can you imagine how, you know, can you imagine what Bungie's like when you walk in? Everyone's like, hey, yeah, another day here. Yeah.
I wonder what the laymen are going to say today.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are talking about our favorite video game ever, Destiny 2. We haven't talked about it in a while, to be honest, because, quite frankly, there's not much to talk about.
There really has not been
There's not much to talk about
at all. There really hasn't been that much to talk about because all we know about Destiny 2 right now is that it's trying to get back to Destiny 1. Like, they have this roadmap outlined that, like, we're gonna do all this stuff, and it's basically gonna get us back to the point that we were, like, a year ago or whatever, and it's gonna take until fall to get there. So that's, like, the end of the year for non-Americans.
Yes.
So, it's kind of difficult to really talk about Destiny when that's all you've got on the table.
I agree. There's a famous saying, people. Alright, famous saying. In order for us to go forward, we must go back. And that is exactly what Destiny 2 is doing right now.
You've got to come back with me. Where? Back to the future.
Today's episode is sponsored by Back to the Future.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Marty McFly, we love you.
That's right.
Biff, we love you too. You know what? We love Biff too.
And I think all of this is happening at a time when there's so much competition in the marketplace as well. You know,
100%.
like The Division is now in the best place it's ever been. It's a fantastic game, and if you haven't checked it out, I recommend you do so.
Yep, and the
Just had
hype.
a sequel announced as well, so it's got a nice little boost out of the hype. Warframe continues to go from strength to strength. They're doing some gigantic updates across their entire weapon system for that game, plus adding new content all the time. Destiny's just sort of like there. It's kind of like, it's just there.
Look, I mean, I think Destiny 1 was definitely kind of paving the way at some point because it was the mainstream, you know, introduction to this type of first-person MMO on consoles.
Yeah.
And look, I know Warframe came out in 2012 or 13, but it's come a long way since then. But when Destiny 1 came out, a lot of people were experiencing this kind of genre for the first time, you know? It's just, it's sad to see that Destiny 2's come out, it's worse than it was, and all these other games now have just far surpassed it.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting in this spot where, like, why would you touch Destiny 2?
And it's actually not just, you know, average Joes who aren't touching Destiny 2. Most of the big streamers and YouTubers that cover the game are not playing it anymore, or they're really talking about it in addition to other content. They've had to diversify massively. Where they used to have these Destiny-focused channels in the past, they're now doing Monster Hunter, they're doing Fortnite, they're doing all this sorts of other shit, because they need to pay their rent, and Destiny 2 ain't paying no bills.
It's a domino effect too, because once you stop promoting that game by not playing it, your fan base forgets that game because you're playing a brand new game, and it's this domino effect of just less and less people are engaging with that content.
Okay, let's check actually right now on Twitch, right? Let's check on Twitch.
We're gonna check it out. Here we go.
Let's see which games have more viewers right now than Destiny 2. Okay,
Here we go.
Let's check this out. Right, Destiny.
I'm just looking at
So
the people that Ralph follows on Twitch. They all are women.
That's all right.
They all have.
They all in the IRL section only.
Yes. They're all dressed very interestingly.
That's right. Still scrolling down trying to find Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has 1,800 people currently watching it right now.
Is that just in our area or across the world?
Across the world. Final Fantasy has more people watching. But the general point is that people have moved on from Destiny, and I think that's really exemplified by recently there was an update or an announcement of an update. It was a new sandbox update that's coming soon. It's called like Gotta Go Fast or Go Fast or some kind of Sonic ripoff, I don't know. And basically talking about the way that they are sort of decreasing recharge time on, you know, things like your supers and your grenades and your whatever, melee attacks. Talks about the fact that players are going to move faster around the map. It's going to be adding in like 6v6 PvP, doing a whole bunch of weapon rebalancing. Like, it's a really big, chunky update that basically just brings the game back to Destiny 1, by the way, so let's not get too excited.
Yes.
But the fact is, no one was talking about this update. No one. Like,
the proof is in the pudding, I think, because they had so much great opportunities. Then they deceived us with the XP, and then the content drops where they kind of they blocked you from already content that was around. Like, those things clearly just turn people off, and I think it's a great example of you have a great opportunity, but if you don't treat the consumer right, people just turn away.
Yeah.
There's too many other options. I
think it's really well summarized by a recent Kotaku article talking about the first 6 months of Destiny. And most other games, it's kind of like, we released this amazing content patch, and we did this, and we hit this many concurrent players, and blah, blah, blah. This article from Kotaku is just a big, sad list of controversies and disappointments. It's just like, it runs really long, and all of it is just like sadness. And after that, actually, another guy, a friend of mine named Paul Tassi, he writes for Forbes, he wrote an article saying that it feels different this time around with Destiny. Because we're, like, hardcore Destiny fans are super used to the Destiny disappointment cycle, where it's kind of like Destiny breaks our heart, and then we're like, oh, we hate you, Destiny. And then, like, you know, Destiny's like, come on, baby, give me another chance. And we're like, all right, come on, you know? Every time. Like, we went through this cycle like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
But this time, it
it's
feels
different.
really different.
It's different, though, before, because Destiny 1 constantly got better. You know what I'm saying?
Broadly
like,
speaking,
by
yes.
the Taken King, you're like, okay, this shit is awesome.
Yeah, true.
Where with this, it's not like it's gotten better and better, because although it's a Destiny 2, you are still comparing it to Destiny 1, and you've taken a huge step back. So that's the big difference, I think, there.
I think so. I just feel like something happened with Destiny 2. It was a really seismic shift in the way that we understand Destiny and Bungie. And it does feel different this time. It really does feel like... I can't personally imagine a circumstance where that game would really welcome me back. And I know that's a huge thing. I never thought I would say that. But, like, I just can't picture... Even if they release the best expansion ever, the best possible version of Destiny that we could imagine, I just feel like I just wouldn't be up for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't matter
can't
what
even put into words why.
I think there's a number of things. Number one, because we've just got a bad taste in our mouth. We're not happy with how Bungie's conducted themselves. You know, there's been moments where they've just outright lied, you know, about XP or, you know, and also there's too many other options out there, and there's too many things to be excited for.
True.
We were very excited about Anthem, of course. Now we're not too sure about that, but there are things on the horizon that people are like, yes, I want to try that, or there's just better alternatives like Warframe.
Yeah, true. I mean, because next year, hopefully we'll have Borderlands 3, because they're going to announce it this year at E3 is the rumour. We've always got new Warframe updates coming along, and they come thick and fast.
Yep.
We've got the Division 2, which hopefully should be out next year, or at the very latest the following year. There's a lot of competition in that marketplace right now, so not only is Destiny trying to catch up to where it was and get back to Destiny 1, it's also trying to compete with an entirely new field of competition that's really, really fierce, and all they've got to show is potentially a really big DLC drop. It's not like they can release Destiny 3 next year, because everyone will be like, oh, you fuck off. Everyone will be like, okay, maybe I'll look at an expansion, but no way am I spending $60.
Yeah. I don't think there is going to... Look, I know that they have a contract to make sure that there is a Destiny 3, but I don't see, in terms of a business sense, that they would really saddle up for that, at least not until they've really tried to fix this game. And even if they do fix this game, I think your point is right. It doesn't matter what they do now, people are just turned off.
I guarantee there will be a Destiny 3.
I mean, look, I'm sure there will be.
They need the reset button on this now, more desperately than they needed on Destiny 1. So they have to do it.
There's only so many times you can reset that button, though.
That's true.
There's only so many times, and this is like Destiny 7, and it's like, come on now, come on.
That's enough, guys.
I've done this enough now.
I just feel like I worry for Bungie at this point, because that's a studio of 1,000 people. They're one of the biggest game studios in the world. Stuff like Digital Extremes, I just spoke to their community manager today to confirm the number of people who are actively in the development portfolio of that studio. They've got about 200 people. 200 people make Warframe, 1,000 people make Destiny 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance, that game that was released recently that Sam absolutely
I loved it. You didn't like it either.
What are you talking about? Did you not watch my 50-minute review of that title? Did you not set aside the 50 minutes required
I just wanted to
provide a review?
I just wanted
of that
the
game?
comment section to blow up. He didn't like
right.
it. He told me off camera he didn't like it.
So that game was actually made by a team of about 150 people. You know, it's like they're small studios that are producing big things.
And it's a very accomplished game, you know, in a lot of senses.
Yeah,
It still
and
is.
you've got Destiny 2, which is just soaking up all of this money in terms of staff wages. I would not be surprised if at some point we saw some sort of cutbacks or something at Bungie. Like,
Definitely.
how long can they continue on with this many people doing this sort of work for a game that no one's talking about? Like, I'm starting to imagine a world without Bungie. Sad times.
I think it's. Look, I don't think we're going to be seeing Bungie go anywhere anytime soon. But look, you know, if we have 4 or 5 major fails from them in the next 10 years, I think
Then they'll be in Bioware territory.
I think they're going to be in Bioware territory. I think the ship will be sinking.
And then all they'll need is a visit from Anita Sarkeesian, and then they'll be set at
Done.
that point.
That's all they need.
Easy, you know.
That's all they need.
It may not surprise